Guys, it's Sarah here today on November 15th with Grassroots Evolution, and what I'm here to do today is bring a sort of healing message for asking for what we want and letting go of shame surrounding what we want and how we ask for that. Okay, so I'm going to bring you a message first from the Language of Letting Go, Daily Meditations for Codependents. And before I get going, I just want to say my kids are home, so you may hear them in the background. I apologize in advance, but I feel like this message needs to get out, so please be forgiving about that. Okay, if it gets too bad, I'll pause you. Asking for what we want. So daily codependency, what I want to talk about first, I'm getting all blah, blah. What codependency is for me in this particular way is having our self-worth outside of ourselves for any reason, okay? Allowing others to dictate how we feel about ourselves. So my goal on this world and in this channel is really helping you to empower yourself through, you know, our empowered vulnerability, through heart-centered truth, and really just walking our paths. And a lot of us have a lot of walls, okay? I've noticed with myself, I know that, right? We have a lot of walls we've built up. And if we've built walls up, to keep an open heart, it's time to take them down. It doesn't mean we can't set boundaries for ourselves, right, and others, and teach others how we want to be treated, and, you know, choose to enforce, you know, that we don't need to be disrespected. Okay, that's something, but we also within ourselves need to let go of any walls that we may have that lets us put forward, you know, the requests and the needs that we have, okay? So what I'd like to do is bring you this message, and then I would like to pull, we'll pull a card just to see how we can heal any blocks from the Crystal Mandala Oracle, okay? And do a little bit of an energy healing. Okay, so I'm going to read you two passages. The first is asking for what we need. Decide what it is you want and need, then go to the person you need it from and ask for it. Sometimes it takes hard work and much energy to get what we want and need. We have to go through the pains of identifying what we want, then struggle to believe that we deserve it. Then we may have to experience the disappointment of asking someone, having the person refuse us, and figuring out what to do next. Sometimes in life, getting what we want and need is not so difficult. Sometimes all we have to do is ask. And before I go any further, I just want to kind of say, all you have to do is ask. Really try and work on releasing any attachment to the answer that person has, because that is one way, as well as letting go of our codependency. Now, understandably, if it's something for our absolute physical needs, it's a little more difficult to let go of those attachments, but only thing we can control is ourselves, right? And our actions and our hearts. And we also have the ability to train our brains to, if we do have to experience sort of rejection or refusal, it's not going to ruin our day. Deep breath in, you know, long breath out, and 1 foot forward, next step, okay? So continuing, you can go to another person or our higher power and ask for what we need. But because of how difficult it can be at times to get what we want and need, we may get trapped in the mindset of believing it will always be that difficult. Sometimes not wanting to go through the hassle, dreading the struggle, or out of fear, we may make getting what we want and need much more difficult than it needs to be. We may get angry before we ask, deciding that we'll never get what we want, or anticipating the fight we'll have to endure. By the time we need to talk to someone about what we want, we may be so angry that we're demanding, not asking. Thus, in our anger triggers a power play that didn't exist in our mind, except in our mind, okay? Sometimes we may have to fight and work and wait for what we want and need. Sometimes we can get it just by asking or stating that it is what we want. Ask. If the answer is no and not what we want, then we can decide what we want to do next. So an affirmation for this. Today I will not set up difficult situations that don't exist with other people or my higher power about getting what I want and need. If there is something I need from someone, I will ask first before I struggle. I think a lot of us do this. We want things, so we overthink it. We work all the ways it couldn't work in our mind, rather than just get your feathers in, right? Be a warrior in your truth. Ask And rather than staying in this indecision, make a decision and move forward, okay? And there's one more, and I like reading for this book because sometimes it takes, for me, I know at least it takes hearing it from someone else to really go, you know what, you're right. So I don't want any of us to shame ourselves even for ever having felt codependent or allowing other people's opinion of us to make us, you know, question or challenge our own self-worth. I feel like any of us that are true, authentic warriors in our heart's desires and our truths, they don't go with the natural grain of things. You know, we've probably taken a little more criticism than most, and I know myself, I used to take it really to the core, and this is where setting our own energetic boundaries and personal boundaries and knowing that we're whole and complete within ourselves. If someone isn't going to give you what you want, really, okay, why? And is there a way to compromise as well? Might be something to look at. But the other one that I want to read to you is about letting go of shame, because one of the biggest things is if we've had past failures as well, or, you know, we haven't made the best choices in the past, or someone shamed us for things, it's really hard to let us go. And it is really something that keeps us in this codependent place of not really being able to be a true warrior and keeps us down out of fear, okay? So if you would like to listen to me, just one more passage here. So letting go of shame. Shame is that dark, powerful feeling that holds us back. Yes, shame can stop us from acting inappropriately, but many of us have learned to attach shame to healthy behaviors that are in our best interest. In dysfunctional families, shame can be tagged to healthy behaviors such as talking about our feelings, making choices, taking care of ourselves, having fun, being successful, or even feeling good about ourselves. Shame may have been attached to asking for what we want and need, to communicate directly and honestly, and to be giving and receiving love. Sometimes shame disguises itself as fear, rage, indifference, or a need to run and hide, wrote Stephanie E. But if it feels dark and makes us feel bad about being who we are, it's probably shame. In recovery, we are learning to identify shame. When we can recognize it, we can begin to let go of it. When we can love and accept ourselves, starting now. We have a right to be here, and to be who we are. And we don't ever have to let shame tell us any different. So the affirmation here you may want to say a couple of times in your mirror, just to yourself, take a quiet moment, is, today I will attack and conquer the shame in my life. Today I will attack and conquer the shame in my life. Today, I will attack and conquer the shame in my life. Really work through, you know, your own internal blocks towards asking for what we want. Okay? So one message I'm going to ask for, and I want to just state that this may not resonate for your situation, but take the bits that do and disregard the bits that don't, but know that it's up to you and your free will and what choices you make going forward, you know, to getting what you want, to being able to ask for what you want, okay? It's up to you how you implement this. If you don't feel you need to, don't. But I promise you, I promise you, if you work through your shame and come back more to a whole place in yourself, you will not regret it. Okay? So one message, please. Thank you. We have two. So the first one I have here is discernment. And this is Ascended Master Hilarion and Green Cryophase. And the other one is number 18, Angel Uziel and Smoky Quartz, Heavenly Mercy. So let's take a quick look here. Where's my book? We're going to do number 22, Discernment. Okay, first. Oh, Smoky Quartz is what I opened up to, so I feel like Smoky Quartz won. Okay, so first off, we bring you the gift of heavenly mercy. Okay, so I'm just going to put the mandala image here, and while you may want to look at it while I speak and listen to this, first off, or you just may want to think about what does it make you feel, okay? We bring you the gift of heavenly mercy. As you grow spiritually, your energy field becomes more substantial. Your thoughts and actions carry more karmic weight in the world. As your powers increases, your ability to do good increases too. Your positive words can have a potent effect on others. So too can the very human moments when we may be having an off day and unintentionally respond to another in a way that is not unconditionally loving. We do not want to be afraid of becoming powerful. We know that most often you are going to make a positive contribution with your power. We also know that sometimes you will wish you could undo a choice you have made and its effect. To help you, we offer our karmic protection, where the destructive impact of our actions is softened and the positive effect of your actions is enhanced. As you grow in power and impact, our gift of heavenly mercy will surround you, aligning your actions with divine will and blessing, and all affected by you with divine compassion. So this is also, our energy fields are really, really important. And this is where letting go of shame attached to asking for what we want is really important, because if we're having a bad day, right, like this card kind of said, our vibrations affect other people. If we've overthought what we want and how we get it, and we come to this angry already before even knowing what they're going to say, right? Assumptions make an ass out of you and me. Don't do it, right? Just kind of no expectations, breathe in, breathe out, ask for what you want, go accordingly, maintain that calm and peace within ourselves, and be discerning, okay? Be truly discerning in how you react. Take a minute to think, okay? Brain to mouth, sometimes for me, is difficult. If you have air in your chart, it might be, but know that you have the power of this space to vibrate out love, okay? So number 18, smoky quartz, and we're going to do the number 22. We're going to do the healing process for it, okay? So if you'd like to take your shoes off, what we're going to do is just take a moment to center in with the earth and ground ourselves. So spread your toes apart, guys, and imagine your feet going out as tree roots and spreading out as far reaching as you can. And we're going to take 3 breaths. Okay, and while we do this, big deep breaths in and out, I want you to imagine love, universal light, coming in through your crown, through your mouth. Just breathe in love, self-love, universal love. Just take these deep breaths, okay? And as we release our breath, I want you to really release any negativity and anything any shame, okay? To asking for what we want. So, deep breath in, guys. Fill yourself up with that universal love and light. And you breathe out. Again. Really feel, where do you feel this energy in your body? And breathe out. And one more time. And this time, if there's anything you feel in your body, please ask this light to help heal it, okay? And transmute any of the excess energy through your feet. And breathe out. Give yourself a big ol' hug. And tell yourself that, I'm loved, I'm worthy, okay? And be grateful. That's what I've got before we go into that. Okay, so discernment. How can I use my breath? Can I use it to be yelling and angry? Or can I use it to bring a moment of healing to my life? Okay, so what I'd like you to do, if you want to help be involved in this, you can grab any crystals if you want. If you want to pause me, go get a tea, get comfy. It won't take very long, but